Welcome to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I'm Laura.
I'm Julie.
If you haven't been following, I started a blog about 8 years ago called My Inner Struggle, and you can find that at myinnerstruggle.com. It's really about everything. Life, love, loss, everything.
Kids.
Yes.
Home life.
Yeah.
Everything.
And I share a lot of raw, real, authentic stuff. Nothing is untouched, really. So anyway, I've had this vision, and it's really exciting for the last few years of starting a podcast. And Julie and I have known each other for a really long time.
Yeah. We're not quite sure how long. We discussed this the other day.
Yes.
Jen, if you're listening, if you could
Please
comment
tell us,
and let us know how long we've known each other, that'd be fantastic.
Jen is the keeper of all the knowledge.
She is. She really is.
She definitely is. Yeah. So, Julie, tell us about yourself.
So, I am a mom of two incredible teenagers, as you know, because you've known them.
I do.
Basically their whole lives.
They're pretty good.
I've been married for 20 years this July. To a wonderful, wonderful husband.
He's pretty okay.
Yeah. Does anybody ever say I've been married to a real jerk for 20 years? I don't think
I've heard that, actually. I've definitely heard that before, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say that.
But I'm divorced, so...
Truth. That's
there
a great, that's a great point. I love watching my kids play sports. We're a huge sports family. I always make sure that they can hear me in the crowd. They always know when I'm there.
Yep. You're pretty loud.
Yeah, pretty loud. And I love just being with people, drinking wine, love the wine, and not having to cook dinner every night. It's really a big passion of mine.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were talking about doing this, and we have all these thoughts on a lot of things, and to really just bring some messages to everyone too, and educate them and share a little humor because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's life.
Yeah. So this week, I've been sharing this journey, and if you follow on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, about a lot of things, and we're all constantly manifesting change. Every day. And what did we say? Like, manifest has become this buzzword, right?
Right.
That we talk about. And what is it really? Like, it's everything. It's, sharing. Help me out here.
Help me out here. Yeah. So, we discussed how right now manifest is a huge buzzword, but what does it mean? What does it mean to manifest? What do you want your outcome of manifesting something to be?
Right.
So there's different, tips and tricks that you can use to manifest the things that you want. And also you manifest good as well as
bad. As the negative stuff. Right. Yeah. So 6 months ago, you were kind of going through something with your job. And do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So 6 months ago, I was at a place where I would wake up in the morning and just know that I was meant for more than what I was doing. And I never really knew what that more looked like or what it was going to feel like. I just knew in my heart that it needed to be more for myself, for my family. And I know that you went through something very similar, about a year ago. Mm-hmm. So it just seemed like, okay, what do I need? And, I came into your office.
You came here to the office.
Yeah. And what did you ask me?
What do you want?
Yeah. What do you want? Which is a pretty straightforward question, right? But so many times we don't know how to answer that question. Yeah. And I said to you, I have no idea what I want, but I know what I don't want. And that was a pretty long list of things I don't want. And getting to what I want, it's still a work in progress. But talking it out, soul searching, really, really figuring out what you want. This life, you get one life, right? However short it may be.
Way too short.
What do you want it to be?
Right. So a really cool way of, when you talk about manifesting something, and like Julie said, we're manifesting all fucking day. There's no question about it, whether it's negative or positive. Though it's the way that you're thinking about something and the way that you carry yourself, through to the next step. And when Julie was here, or if I work with any of my coaching clients or the CEOs that we are empowering, because Julie actually just joined my consulting business that I have, and we're empowering people to become their best selves, right? So when you're thinking about what you want in your life and you know, like you're like, I don't know exactly what it is.
It's a hard thing to.
It is.
It's
it seems like you said, it's a simple question,
and it's
but
not.
where does the answer come from? So the way that you can kind of think about it a little bit is, what do you want your day to look like? Right? So we just did this, right?
We did.
So what do you want your morning routine to be? What do you want to wake up early? Do you want to sleep in? Do you want to work out? Do you want to go for a walk? You know, what do you want all of those elements to be? Because all of those things, all those tiny daily habits make up our day. And if you're not manifesting positive ones, you're manifesting negative ones. And is that bringing you to the next step or not?
Yeah.
Right? So.
No, I agree. You know, it's ironic that this is our first podcast and this is the topic that we're discussing, because my mom passed away, as you know, 7 years ago, and she used to always have these mantras that she would say, and she would, you know, and she would quote them, and she would say, but one of the ones that I find the most poignant at this point, she would say, you know, watch your thoughts for they become words, watch your words for they become actions. Watch your actions for they become habits. Watch your habits for they become character. And watch your character for it becomes your destiny. And oddly enough, I was just speaking with my bonus dad, a.k.a. Popster. And he said, you know, your mom used to have that taped on her mirror. So she would see it every morning. And every morning it would be like, okay, this is my focus. This is how I'm going to start my day. So that it always started on this super positive, okay, I'm going to get up and here's what I'm going to tell myself, you know, which I think a lot of us need.
Yeah, right? I agree. And having those positive affirmations helps you manifest something. That's one of the tools, right?
Yeah.
So about a month ago, I was feeling a little stuck, quite honestly. I last January, I made a really tough decision to leave a really unhealthy place for me. And, well, I love the job and I love the people. It just wasn't fitting anymore. And, my time there was done. But when you're making a big change like that, you're not exactly sure, again, what do I want? I knew what I wanted my day to look like. I didn't know exactly how it was going to fit together. So that part was really interesting. And I spent a lot of time in my own self-discovery in the last year. And it was fucking life-changing, quite honestly. It was scary, so fucking scary. But going through, I've lost both my parents. I've been through divorce. I'm a single mom. There's all this bullshit in the air. But the last year of my life, I have grown leaps and bounds. I can't even, I'm just so filled with love and light and gratitude and all of those things. And I'm so happy now that things worked out the way they did.
Yeah.
And it's when you're in it, it feels so heavy. And even a month ago, I was feeling a little bit stuck because, you know, you're trying in one direction and you have to sort of redirect where you're, you know, where you think you ought to be. You know, I struggled with like keeping my office for like one thing, but I realized in the end I wasn't really doing the things for the right reasons, and letting go is really part of that practice too. So sometimes the darkest time comes right before the light, really. Yeah. And a month ago, that's kind of how I felt. Yeah. But I kept thinking, and for years, and when I started this blog, I was manifesting this. Like, this is all I've ever wanted. Right. To be able to share my message and connect with people and share my energy, because you can't always read that on, you know, a piece of paper or whatever. Yeah. And people are my passion, and I love that. And I love that you're here with me and able to share it.
Thanks. And I love I'm here too.
So here we are, like, manifesting this great practice.
So let's talk about manifesting. Let's talk about the different ways, right? How can somebody manifest?
Right.
You know, what do we do? You know, yes, you can do meditation, you can do prayer. You know, you're a big one on vision boards.
Yes.
So how do you guide somebody through a vision board so that they're manifesting the things that they want?
So it's really interesting. So when I opened my office, I had a few classes, vision board classes, and observing the people doing them, you know, so we have all these like magazines and stickers and all sorts of stuff like out, and you're literally like cutting stuff up and ideas and taking portions of them and just seeing what appeals to you. And there are kind of two types of people that exist in my experience. And some are so sure about it and they're seeking out only those objects. And the others are thumbing through like my mind is open.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick what's attractive to me. So it's really interesting. And that's me. I'm the latter. I love beautiful things and whatever. So when I'm going through or I see, a page in a magazine or something that I like something about passion or living fully, breathing, spending time with friends and all of that. So all of those things were on my vision board. Oddly enough, funny, because we just talked about that, was because, eventually I'd really like to meet someone to be my partner. And I talked to Raj about it not that long ago about it. And I was like, shit, that's not even on my vision board. And I hadn't even realized it. So I went home and I put it on my vision board because it's not just looking at a picture. You're manifesting those things, all those thoughts that are behind that. If I have, part of my time alone in the last 5 years was trying to find like a really good supportive group of loving friends. Right. Mm-hmm. Because when you get divorced, your friends change sometimes, even though you don't want it to. Some, are on one side or the other.
It's definitely a tricky
it's just
situation.
Different. It's just different. And we hadn't connected as much in that time.
Yeah.
But like we're here now. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. But that is something that's on my vision board. So I think about all of those things. Mm-hmm. And when you think about your thoughts, so your vision board, you can't just stare at it and things are going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like a launching point to take action on those things. If I want this beautiful house, okay, well, how am I going to get that? Right. Am I getting a new job? Am I going to buckle down on my savings? Am I selling the one that I'm in? Am I, what's behind that? And then you start, noticing those things or focusing on those things that are those action steps.
And I think, we had this conversation the other day about looking for a car, right?
Right.
And you have this one car in mind that you're like, oh, I'm going to find X car. And then all of a sudden you're seeing X car everywhere you go.
Right.
So, all of a sudden it went from maybe not really seeing this car a lot to now you're seeing it every time you drive
notice
somewhere.
It every time you pass.
And I think it's more of just being present. You're manifesting different things. And once it's in the forefront of your mind, like to be present, you start to see the things that you're wanting or that you're believing in. And again, same thing goes for the negatives, right?
Right. You have to be careful with that.
If you wake up and you're instantly like, oh, I can't today, or, I'm going to try to do this. No,
there is no trying.
We're like Yoda. We're like Yoda right now. There is no trying. There is only do.
You're doing it or you're not doing it. There's no trying. There's no attempting. You pour your whole self into something to see if it'll work.
Yeah.
So it's so funny because manifest, we said, was like kind of this like buzzword now, right? Yep. Everybody's talking about, I'm manifesting the man of my dreams. I'm manifesting, I don't know,
a new job,
or
money, whatever it is,
So, being someone that's gone through a lot of transition, and I am where I am now, it's like it's like a secret. Like you want to share it with everybody, and if you see somebody down or not, look like they're not maybe fulfilled or something like that, and the first thing that I want to do is like give them a hug and be like, this is. Like,
it's just a moment in time.
Share it with everyone. You're so excited about this thing that you want to share it with everyone. And I do believe that manifesting is like a huge part of where we get, period. Mm-hmm. And it's just really interesting.
Yeah. It's a whole new mindset, really, when it comes down to it. It's really knowing what you want and just believing that you deserve it, right?
Right. So, and your thoughts control everything. Right. Your thoughts control your feelings, which control your actions, and that controls your outcome. So if you're walking through your day dreading every single second of it, dreading when you get up in the morning, the job that you don't love, laying in bed, staring at the ceiling, wishing something was different, and I know that people do, there are so many things that you can do to change, to bring more joy into your life every day. And life is way too short to be wasting it, in an unhappy place. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a quote from Sarah Prout, and it says, "Believe you deserve it, and the universe will serve it."
I'm sorry, it just sounds so cheesy.
I know. I
feel like that belongs on like a high school locker. Like when you're walking down the hall.
Sure, absolutely.
No, but I do. But I'm super positive, and I like it. It's just the rhyming, I think, throws me off.
I know, but I love it because it's true. If you really believe that you deserve something, and that you're opening up your heart, your mind, your soul to getting it. Right?
Yeah.
You believe you're enough, Mm-hmm. And that's however right. that looks, it's such a personal journey for so many people to really try to understand, that they are enough, that they do deserve happiness, that they do deserve more.
Right.
Right? Oh my gosh. Raj is already telling us our 15 minutes is passing, Laura. It's just like crazy.
So what are you manifesting right now for yourself?
In this stage of my life, my manifesting is really to be in the moment. I'm manifesting financial freedom so that I can be present for everything possible with my kids. Our daughters are both seniors in high school, so they're going to be off doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And I just want to be able to soak up every minute, as much as my daughter probably hates that I'm there to soak up every one of those minutes. I just want to be able to do it and have the ability to do it. So that is really what is the most important thing to me is, to be present for, my children, my spouse, and myself, just to live it. What about you? What are you manifesting?
Besides a great sex life?
Besides sex, I can't help you there.
Okay. I think I'm already there anyway. But I think really ultimately full freedom and independence. 2024, and I've been saying it thanks to Raj, actually, 2024 is the year of abundance. Abundance of everything. Abundance of love, of support, of kindness, of information, of learning, of everything.
Giving.
Yes.
Of giving.
Yes.
Is
that's
key.
A really big one. Yes.
Yeah, it's a big one.
So
I agree.
So what are we going to talk about next week?
So next week, we are going to talk about redirecting our thoughts. Okay, we're going to talk about how maybe you get up in the morning and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. Okay, well then let's find one positive thing. Like, most of us have that one coworker that kind of makes going to work worthwhile. Yes.
That. Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know where she's going, but you go in. You can always find something positive about any situation. You just have to be open to it. You have to be able to take a step back and say, okay, yes, usually this is not great for me, but I'm going to think about the things that are positive. So we're going to redirect our thoughts, and we're going to really truly manifest what we want, and we're going to kind of connect the two. We're going to marry them into really starting off on a positive mindset first thing in the morning, and see how different your day becomes.
Mm-hmm. To pivot even in the middle of the day, pivot your thought.
Pivot.
Awesome.
You're like Friends with the couch. Pivot.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So I think next week will be great. We want you to join us, like, share, subscribe, comment.
Right. Because this is the fastest growing podcast.
It is the fastest growing podcast. Yes.
We're manifesting that.
We are manifesting. I love it. See, we can do it. It's just that easy.
Awesome.
Right. And leave us your comments. What do you want to talk about? What are things that you manifest in your life? What are you currently manifesting? What have you manifested in the past that's come to fruition, and that you're positive about? Like, share it with us. We would love to hear from you.